Oh.
What is your name?
Steve Buck Sullivan, but probably mostly Buck Steve Sullivan.
What years were you in the His Kids?
I was in His Kids, I believe, from 1974 till the very end, and I think that was 78. I joined right after they did their first musical Purpose, and I came to the church and watched them, and I thought, that's the coolest thing. I would love to be part of that, but I'm not a member of the Baptist church. And was able to find out through Jackie Taylor, who is the accompanist and who I went to a Bible study group with at my church, and she said, no, it's for anybody. So I just showed up at practice one time, and Joann just latched on to me and said, welcome, I'm glad you're here. I hope you have a good time. Let me know if you need anything. And from that moment on, it was magic. And it was so cool to see my high school friends that I would see during the week, and that they were part of this magical group that I discovered don't have to be Baptist. And the irony of the whole thing is that eventually I had so much fun singing in the Baptist church and going to Baptist, the particular Baptist minister here, Brother Ball, who's Joann's husband, that on my own, nobody ever pressured me, but I decided on an Easter Sunday that I wanted to join the church. And it was the best decision I ever made.
What was the actual size of your graduating cap along with your gown?
Okay, they didn't make one because I wear a size 10 cowboy hat that barely fits my head. So my mom had this great idea. So we can fix that. We've got all women in this family. We'll bobby pin it to your head, and it'll look like it fits. Put it on, took pictures, everything was awesome. And of course, the first thing you do when you come in a processional, okay, everybody, please bow their heads in prayer. And when I pulled that off of my head, I think about half of my hair came out, and then everybody started laughing. So, spent the rest of the time myself trying to get everything poked up there. And of course, I won an award and had to walk across stage balancing the thing on top of my head. And everybody laughing, of course, they knew what happened. So I couldn't tell you what size that was, but it definitely wasn't near big enough.
Thanks for throwing this today. It's got a lot of fun.
I tell you, this has been a blast. This has been a dream come true. Bye, Robin.
Can I be next so I can leave?
Yes.
What do you want me to say?
What is your name?
Ann Lively. It used to be Ann Worsham. I live in Durant, Oklahoma.
What was your association with the His Kids?
I was in His Kids. I was in 7th grade when I joined. Donna was a really good friend of mine. That's Joann's daughter. We went to Washington, D.C. Then I skipped the next year to Florida. My 9th grade year, I believe it was, we went to Indiana.
Do you have a favorite memory of a tour or just being in His Kids?
Just the impact that the backyard Bible studies had. We would go in the morning to a group and in the afternoon to a different group, and just being around all those kids. And that's what I try to do now, is help give back to students in my school, because that's what I remember the most about.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Tell me your name.
Hi, I am Cheryl Chaffin Bowhay.
What's your association with His Kids?
I have been with it from the very beginning, went on all the trips. My funnest part of it, or most favorable memory, is basically all of it.
Seems to be the same for everyone.
Oh man, there's just too many to pick one.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Tell me your name.
My name's Cleo Chaffin.
What is your association with the His Kids group?
I was a sponsor on 2 of the trips, the last 2.
Do you have a favorite memory of them?
Let's see. All of them were favorites.
That's a good answer.
I think probably Washington, D.C.
Very good. Well, thanks for coming today. Tell me your name.
My name is Melissa Coates. And I actually wasn't ever in His Kids. I was too young, but I thought they were the greatest thing ever, and I wanted to be in His Kids and wear a gingham dress so bad.
Did you remember watching them perform?
I did, yes. And Joann was my kindergarten teacher. So they were just wonderful.
Well, thanks for coming today. Tell me your name, sir.
My name is Cleo Chaffin.
What do you recall about the His Kids groups?
Well, I recall making all the 4 trips on the bus with them and keeping up with all the teenage boys. I guess my favorite memory is in Washington, D.C. when we were there. Carl Albert took us all in his office.
Oh, cool.
And we gathered around him and visited with him for about an hour. And I thought that was something special.
Great memory. Thanks for coming today. With your mouth full, tell me your name.
Nancy Roselle. I was not in His Kids, but I'm a member of the church, so I help in the kitchen.
Very important. Well, thank you so much for coming today and helping out. Tell me your name.
Kenna Crumley. I'm an original member, started in 73. I didn't go on the 78 tour because I got married. His Kids was a very important and still is a very important part of my life. I enjoyed it. Lots of good memories. I can't think of one in particular.
Well, thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
I'm Patty Kelly. I was on the youth committee during, I can't tell you what years, but during the time of His Kids. And I've been a member of this church forever, seems like. But anyway, His Kids were the most wonderful thing that ever happened at this church.
Thank you for coming today.
Very true. Well, that was my mom, Patty. My name is Christi Kelly Blakemore, and I was one of the little brats running around. I was too young to be part of His Kids, but oh my, I looked up to them so much, and I admire them because I look around now and all these sweet, wonderful Christian faces that I'm getting to see today, and we'll see you again another day.
Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Who are you, sir?
I'm Gayle Wood. I was in His Kids from 75 to 77, my sophomore, junior, and senior years of high school. I just had love for this His Kids Youth Choir and Joann and the love she had for all of us and that she showed to me. And that just made me feel like I belonged, and I just had precious memories of learning those things.
That's great. Thank you. All right, with your mouth full. He knew I was coming.
Terry Roselle. I was a member here, but it was after the history. So I know a lot of them, but it was actually after they went.
Very good. Thanks. Let's hear your story.
I'm Gina Scott. I was in His Kids from 73 to 78. And our last year of His Kids, my husband Lewis and I were married. And the youth committee had to meet to vote if we could go on our last trip.
Well, thanks for putting everything together today.
Thank you very much.
Who's this guy?
I'm Tom Worsham. I've been in Healdton for the past 45 years, and I'm a State Farm insurance agent here. And I don't live here now, but our daughter Ann Worsham, she was a member of His Kids at least for 1 year.
Well, thanks for coming out today.
Enjoyed it.
Who's this gal?
I'm Teressa Kraft Woodward. I'm your wife, still. That girl, that guy. I was His Kids from 1973 through 1978 when I graduated and went to OBU where I met you because you graduated from Shawnee in 78. My favorite memory of His Kids tour was when we would go to Washington, D.C. and sing on the steps of the Capitol. And apparently it was really cold and rainy that day, but we're all standing there without our coats on. But then in 77, we went to Florida, saw the ocean for the first time, and we all got to just draw on the ocean, put our name in the sand, and fall in love with the ocean from that moment. So,
Go to Joann.
we're going to interview you now.
Okay, you interview me.
What's your name
Donna Joann Law.
and your association with his kids?
I was there from the beginning.
Did you think it up or just take it over?
I started. They needed something to do on Sunday night, so I organized this meeting.
So how many years did you do it?
From 1973 to 1979, I believe,
You touched an awful lot of people's lives.
and they touched mine.
I'm sure of that. Who's this guy?
Scott Fryer.
You his kid?
I am.
What years?
I don't even know what years.
Do you have a favorite memory of it?
Yeah, I have a couple of memories.
Teresa talked about going to the Capitol in '76 and
Seems
singing.
like it was raining that day.
That's what she said.
I kind of remember sitting on the step trying to run the sound under an umbrella in the rain.
How many years were you in them?
At least 2. Was it 3? I can't remember.
Well, thanks for coming today.
The ones I remember was the veterans homes. All the armed forces songs. That's the ones I remember.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming. All right. Tell me your name.
Tracy Terrill.
What's your association with his kids?
A married one.
Good move. I don't have to ask you what your favorite memory is then.
There you go.
And you?
Johnny Terrill.
How many years were you in his kids? Make it up.
4.
Okay. Do you have a favorite memory of being in the group? Did you go on that Capitol tour in '76?
Yes, I did. Singing on the steps of the Capitol.
Was that cool or what?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming today. Tell me your name.
Gayle Molander.
What's your association with his kids?
I was in his kids kind of at the beginning. I went on the first tour. Had a lot of fun. Really meant a lot to be in the group.
Do you remember a favorite memory of being in his kids?
That I lost my voice for one of our performances, so I was no help. I couldn't sing. I had complete laryngitis. So that was my interesting bit.
Looks like you came out okay.
Yeah, I did all right. I have the voice back.
Tell me your name.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Hammer.
What's your association with his kids?
I was one of the first members. We were back in 73, 74, before we had uniforms.
Do you have a favorite memory of being in his kids, like a tour or
I do.
performance?
We've talked about it several times today. We were with Lewis Scott was driving us to Beaver's Bend. We were singing at a church, and we missed the turn, and we ended up going around and making it, but the highway patrolman, who was his kids were in the group, had come out looking for us. So we got to the church. We thought we'd be in trouble, but as it turns out, everybody was so relieved that we were actually alive and made it.
Well, thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Tell me your name.
My name is Angela Fisher, and I was in his kids from 1973 to 1976.
Have a favorite memory of being in them?
Yes, one of my favorite memories would be we stopped and sang at a veterans hospital on a tour, and singing for those veterans. And it was all an American.
That's what Scott was saying earlier.
Yeah, the veterans, that meant a whole lot.
Well, thanks for coming today. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right, tell me your name.
Hi, I'm Eric Smith. I was in his kids from 73 till 76. And so 3 of the different tours, and one of my favorite memories is going through Mammoth Caves, and also we spent the night there. Big Ben was another one that we had fun, and going to the Capitol and going to Washington, D.C. was just a fantastic experience, and then to sing on the Capitol steps. That was
Bicentennial.
one of the greatest memories ever. And also to meet at that time the Speaker of the House, who was from Oklahoma, Carl Albert. And it was a very, very special time. And Joann, I've told her already this today, that she had to be crazy to take 80 kids across the United States on buses. But it was such a wonderful memory and such a wonderful time. And it's just, I want to thank her for everything that she did for us during that time.
Well, thanks for coming today.
Oh, is this where we have to answer questions?
Yes, but I'll fill in the blanks if you go blank. All right, tell me your name.
Kendall Rector.
And what's your association with his kids?
I was a member of his kids in 77 and 78.
You have a favorite memory?
Favorite memory was in Indianapolis when we were singing in the park and two jets crossed in the sky, and there was a cross left up in the sky of clouds while we were singing.
Cool memory. Thanks for coming today. Tell me your name.
Jim Price.
What's your association with his kids?
His kids from 76 to 78.
You got a favorite memory?
The things I remember the most probably are all the little kids from the Appalachian Mountains and stuff. That was so cool. And a church that was singing in Maryland that had the organ pipes all the way up to the ceiling and stuff. It was just cool. Just a great memory.
Very cool. Thanks for coming.
Paula Schultz Moody, Christy Wilson Hickman,
Years in his kids.
75 to 78.
Same for you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite memory?
When Joann Ball took us to Brahms after a concert, and she wanted everybody to get a triple dip of ice cream.
What flavors were yours?
Butter brickle and peppermint.
That's only 2.
Well, I know, but I think I probably doubled up on something.
How about you?
My favorite memory is probably the first year I got to go on tour, because I missed the first 2 that I should have gotten to go on for different reasons. And so my first trip to Indianapolis, that tour was my favorite memory. And all that his kids was singing on the bus and laughing.
Way cool. Well, thanks for coming today.
Thank you, James.
Absolutely. What's your name?
Thank you so much.
Sunny Pryor Dobbins.
And what years were you in his kids?
I couldn't tell you. I wasn't one of the originals.
So do you have a favorite memory?
All of them.
Now, we're hearing everything from the Capitol to going to Brahms to you name it. So sounds like all of them is true.
Yes.
Tell me your name.
Melody Engle Walker.
What's your association with his kids?
I was in his kids, I believe the years were 78, 77, 78.
Do you have a favorite memory?
I'm like Sunny, all of them. It was a wonderful time in my life.
Good memories to have.
Yes.
Thanks for coming. Oh, that's great. Tell me your name.
I'm Kris Hearn, Christina Hearn.
And were you in his kids?
I sure was.
What years?
I think it was 76, 77, and 78.
You got a favorite memory?
Oh, there's so many of them. It was really cool going to Washington, D.C. as a young, naive person from Healdton, Oklahoma, and seeing all the great sights, but mainly in Indianapolis, seeing the young kids that were so poverty-stricken. It was sad. And to help them and help them lead them to Christ was amazing.
Very cool story. Well, thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Who's this guy?
Yes, hi, Robin. You know me, Lewis Scott. I was in his kids from 73 to 78. And I don't know, greatest memory, probably all the kids on a bus, 56 kids on a 49-seat bus. Kids up in the luggage racks sleeping. So I do remember that.
Great memory. Tell me your name.
I'm Gina Scott, and I don't belong to the group. I'm married to Larry Scott, Lewis's brother.
Very good. Well, it worked out pretty well today. Well, thanks for coming today.
Thanks, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Tell me your name.
Laura Kirkson.
What's your association with his kids?
I'm married to his kid.
That counts.
Joe. He's over there somewhere. I saw him a minute ago. But
What year did you all get married?
married, 1982.
That's been a while then.
Yeah, 40 plus years.
You did very well.
We're working on it.
Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
I'm going to slip behind you here. State your name.
No,
Who? Are
Jerry
you
Dobbins.
are you a fugitive from justice?
I am.
I see. You need a better
FBI.
disguise next time.
Okay, I'll try.
Fair enough. Tell me your name.
My name is Kelly, and I'm not his kids.
Yeah,
I'm
but
a Hearst kid.
you married one, didn't you?
I did. I married his kids.
How long ago?
Oh gosh, that was in 1996. So it's quite a while ago.
Held it pretty well.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thanks for coming. I want to ask you your name.
My name?
Yes.
I am Wanda Fryer.
And what's your association with his kids?
His kids, I was one of the original sponsors with his kids.
Do you have a favorite memory of during that experience?
What? I can't hear you.
Do you have a favorite memory of the his kids group?
I just had wonderful memories. And if I could sit down and think, I could think of a dozen right now, but I'm not good on just getting something on the spot, you know.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Well, thank you for Barbara Price.
And what's your years were you in his kids, or what's your association?
My daughter was in the group Kim Price.
Do you have a favorite memory of watching them perform?
Just they were a bunch of good kids.
Well, thanks for coming today. Tell me your name.
I'm Doug Davis.
And what's your association with his kids?
Joined when I was in 7th grade, and I guess was in it 4 or 5 years. For the last 4 or 5 years, we were all together and made, I think, all of those trips that we did on the big Greyhound buses. Had a lot of fun, learned a lot, and I can say that was along the time we started a pattern of growing closer to God, and I walk, a lot of us, and I am thankful for that.
Some of my favorite memories are my church choirs that I was in. So thanks for coming today.
It was fun.
I just went to our.
Hi, state your name.
Tim Francis.
What years were you in his kids?
All of them.
Got a favorite memory?
Bus rides, mostly.
Anything particular about the bus rides?
You know, I don't know if there's anything in particular or not. I just think I spent most of my time just looking out the window and seeing all the cool stuff.
And getting out of town.
And getting out of town, absolutely.
Thanks for coming today.
You bet.
What's your story?
I am Larry Scott. Was in his kids from the inception until '78, and favorite, funniest memory, whatever you want to call it. Tony Weaver and I at Silver Springs, Florida, chased the Southern Bells around the park. That was our day.
Thanks for coming today.
Kris Burton. I was in his kids, I think, from 77 to 78. I went to the Florida trip and Indiana trip. And I can't pick just one thing that was my favorite. It was all very good memories.
Thanks for coming today.
And Stephen is here.
Right.
All right, who's this guy?
Hello, Terry Wood.
What's your association with this mob?
Oh, I'm the leader. No, I'm older than all of them. It kind of started after I got in college. And I am not a singer, so I never sang one note. And I'm not going to.
You got a favorite memory of watching them perform?
No, I do not.
How long have you been a fugitive from justice?
Do what now?
How long have you been a fugitive from justice?
I'm on parole right now.
How about this guy?
Joe Kirksick.
What's your association?
I was with the group when 1973 when they first started up, and the thing I remember is we had stayed in Beaver's Bend cabins, and we were heading to Wright City, and I was riding with Lewis Scott and Cheryl Hammer, and there were some other people, but I don't remember. But we were running late, and so we were following another car, and they outran us, and we missed the turn. And I think they sent the police out looking for us.
They said a highway patrolman had a kid in his kids, and he went looking for you.
Maybe that's who it was. They were anyway. We ended up getting at the church late, and Larry Scott, Lewis's brother, had to sing my solo. And we walked in, and I seen big crocodile tears coming down Joann's eyes there when we came in because we were a little bit late.
Glad it worked out for you.
It worked out, though.
Good. Well, thanks for coming.
Memory.
Very good. Thank you.
Oh my gracious. That is terrible. There's a lot in curlers. Oh my. I didn't go over that. Terry, that's awesome.
If it wasn't then, it's not now.
I just want everybody to pay.
Did I get everybody here? Did I get you? Okay, we're good.
Look at old
You said 2 in the last 4 months. What was that group?
Gang sign. Have I spoken to you yet? All right. I will. What's your name?
Nancy Hearn Hoskins.
Were you his kid or?
No. And one of the parents, Kris Burton, is my daughter. And I was one of the ladies that helped with the costume.
That was pretty good.
And it was. And it was fun. I think the best memory is just them coming in over the hill in the bus and all the parents waiting to see their kids. That was it.
Well, thank you for your contribution and for coming today.
Thank you so much.
Sometimes mine comes through and sometimes mine
Oh, wait, this one.
Tell me your name.
Kelly Roberts, used to be Kelly Lambert, and I was in the original group.
How many years?
Well, 1973 until it was over with, and I went on every tour.
Got a favorite memory?
Oh, too many. I love Washington, D.C. That was my favorite trip.
That's a popular answer today.
Too many wonderful memories. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Alan is a little older than you.
Great picture. That's probably the first thing I ever made mad. I love that lady.
You look great.
Yeah.
I found a picture of you, Mama.
Hard at work. Thank you for everything today.
Oh, you're very welcome.
It was great. A couple of minimum wage looking guys if I've ever seen them.
Happy birthday to Joann. Happy birthday to you.
You gonna blow those
candles out?
Make a
wish.
We love you, Joann.
I love you too. I'd do it again if I were in my 40s. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it today for
Well, you'd have the internet.
You'd be one of the youngest if you was in your 40s still.
All right. Now let's gather our chairs and let's sing. Over here. Let's gather some chairs.